Hello, I hope you're doing so great. I'm sending you so much love. Ooh, there's my heart. So the message is that God kept all of the receipts, all that stuff that was done in the dark, all that stuff that was done behind closed doors, all the sabotage done to you and others, that people thought they were going to get away with, that thought that nobody would ever find out. God saw it. God saw it. God kept those receipts, and God is bringing all of that stuff to the light right now. It's all coming out. But there's been a divine timing to it all. Like the way it's been unfolding has just been very slow and kind of curious. It hasn't been like cut and dry. It's like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit of a slow process. But yeah, the message very strong coming through is that all that stuff done in the dark, all those things that people were running from, hiding from, it's all coming to the light now. And I am being shown that these are very young souls that just like had a vendetta against you, had like a strong focus onto you, and misused their power predominantly around money, and also how they treated you, like emotional, mental, almost like psychological warfare. You were the focus. You were the focus of their hate. You were the focus of their vendetta. Because you are a very old soul and you come from a very royal bloodline. It's given like very close with God. It's given like higher power, a lot of favor. Like maybe you were a god or a goddess in another life. Maybe you had like some type of position, or like maybe you were like highly revered or worshipped at some point in one of your lives, because you had spiritual gifts and psychic gifts and healing gifts. Okay, I'm seeing like you're like an ascended master, royal bloodline. And so there's a lot of young souls who had a vendetta against you. Young souls who aren't aligned with God, that they mad, they jealous, they feel away. They feel like it's not fair, like how special you are in the eyes of God. But I mean, it's like you did the work. Like you evolved from a very low state of consciousness to a very high state of consciousness. Been around a long time. And these young souls can also choose to be on that path, but they're like reluctant. They're like very stubborn. They don't want to learn their lessons. Like very stubborn, very arrogant, very misaligned. And so I'm seeing these people misuse their power predominantly around money. Okay, around money. Like they thought that money was power. Money, whoever had the money is the one who is in control. That's the mentality. And we can get into the psychological nature behind it, but I don't really want to. I mean, it's really just about having a lot of poverty in their life, and a lot of like wounding and fears and things like that just like had them turn away from their own light and their own their own inner source of like goodness. And so, but what I'm seeing is these people presented themselves to be good people, like false light, a lot of false light. So they pretended to be good, they pretended to be someone they weren't, and then behind closed doors did a lot of really shady stuff. And I'm seeing they misused their power by using the elements. So to me, that's given like black magic. That's given like they used like fire energy. They used like samples of your hair, pictures of you, maybe even like they had some of your teeth, because it could be family members that did this. Maybe they had a drop of your blood. Like maybe, like if you live with somebody, it's not that hard to get that stuff, right? Or they had like an article of clothing, something, they used something to do magic on you, and they had help. They had help by people who knew what they were doing better than them. So even though they participated in some type of black magic, they also either hired somebody or knew people that did it. Okay? So, and you were the focus. You were the focus of their hate. And I'm seeing that like it was very covert. All of it was very covert. But like this is heavy karma coming onto the table right now. And it's like all the energy that these people put back is coming back to them. And I see a lot of health issues. I see a lot of incurable diseases and like highly acidic bodies that are just like a breeding ground for disease. These people had closed hearts, and the energy that they put out was so wicked that now they're getting this energy back, and then their body just like can't handle it. And their bodies are just, this is part of their karma, but yet they are still not learning this lesson. And so I'm seeing, God is showing me that they are going to go through reincarnations where they will have to come back to this place, this harsh place where, you know, the frequency, there's such a huge range in frequency where very low states of consciousness, very high states of consciousness. You know, this place is it's like a school. It's like one of the harshest schools you can be in. And they're going to have to come back, and they're going to have to experience all the things that they did to everybody else. All those things, dark things that they did. They are going to have to experience it firsthand. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be hard. And I'm saying that you had to learn some lessons. All this stuff that you went through, you had to learn lessons in how cunning people can be. The word cunning is coming to mind. How deceitful people can be. How people can use deceit to gain something in life or gain power in life. Excuse me. And like all of these lessons you went through made you very agile. It made you like a quick thinker, quick on your feet, very flexible, you know, very strong, very balanced. Okay. And at this point, what I'm seeing, like you went through the worst of the worst. You went through the worst of the worst. Although sometimes being in the healing process can feel like the hardest part of it all, because I mean, it is the hardest part of it all, because getting through it, you can survive through that stuff, right? We're very resilient. Our bodies are resilient. You yourself are a resilient person. But then like having to go into these deep states of rest to heal it and accept it and to find love for ourselves and forgive ourselves, and then like extend that outward, forgiveness for others. If that's your path, you don't need to heal others. I mean, you don't need to find forgiveness for others in order to heal yourself. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Oftentimes forgiveness is a byproduct of your own healing. And oftentimes we choose forgiveness because we reach a place within ourselves of self-love and self-respect, of balance, self-worth, where we just don't want to carry that burden around anymore. So we forgive others to not carry the weight of the things that other people have done to us. It's not that we excuse the behavior. It's like we don't want to carry that around with us anymore. It's like, but it's a process, okay? But this message is not about forgiveness. This message is about how all of that stuff that was done in the dark is coming to the light. All of that cunning behavior, that deceit, that gave people a false sense of power, and how they presented themselves as a false good person, how all of that is unraveling and coming to the light. And how long it's taken to get to this point. And also, it's like divine timing is perfect. That divine timing is perfect. And it's almost like God wanted these people to feel like they got away with it, to see really what they were fully capable of. Because remember, God's experiencing life through all of us, okay? So, and God loves this knowledge. God loves this experience because it helps God understand. It helps God expand. So God wanted to see how far these people would take it, really. And it got to this point now, and now all this energy is just kicking back, backfiring onto them. A lot of health issues, a lot of financial issues, and they're not going to show it to you. They're not going to show it to you. These people, it makes them feel weak to show any type of sickness or to show any type of flaw in them. Okay, because they are very egotistical, they are very narcissistic people. They're operating up here, not in here. This is closed. And because this is closed, that's why there's a lot of health issues around this area in their body. Okay? And it goes down into the gut too. But divine timing is perfect. Oh, another, like, this is, okay, all of these experiences has not only, like, made you very agile, very quick on your feet, very strong, very, like, flexible and adaptable. You were already a very resilient person because you're an old soul. You got a lot of wisdom. You got a lot of experience under your belt, and you have a lot of guidance. And your connection with God is clear. So you do receive a lot of intel from your higher self, from your spirit team, from the earth, from the trees. The trees are coming through too. It's like I'm seeing you have a connection with the tree consciousness because the trees are so wise. The trees know everything. The trees see all, they hear all, and they communicate with everything with that root system underground. And so it's like you have a lot of intel coming at you from nature and also from the elements. I mean, you were blind to some things on purpose because you had to reach a certain point in your own journey before the veil could be lifted and you could see things clearly. But it's like now, so now what I'm seeing is you being like in like service, you having all of this gratitude, all of this love inside of your heart is open, and you being very selfless, like being in a state of service. And that service could be actual service to others, because I see that you really care about other people. You really, like you like to nurture others, okay? But it could just mean that you maintain your grounded energy and you radiate that out and you pray for others and you just like spread your good energy around. Maybe you do it in a private way or maybe you do it in a public way. Either way, you're still doing it. You know what I mean? Like, we don't all have to be the same. We're not all cut from the same cloth. You know what I mean? It's like we have a lot of similarities and we have a lot of connection, all of us here in this collective. And we are tuned into the same frequency. We can carry the same charge, but we demonstrate it in different ways. And that's on purpose because we're going to be speaking to different groups of people. We're going to be surrounded by different groups of people. And so, you do it your way. I'm going to do it my way. You do it your way. And together we're doing it. And that's the point. And so I see you having a lot of gratitude, having a lot of flexibility and adaptability, a lot of strength, but also like just wanting to give back to others. And it could just be like maybe like you're food shopping and people are collecting for food pantries and you go and you buy a bunch of stuff and you give it to them. Or maybe you actually volunteer, or maybe you just like, again, maybe you just spread your love from home or from your own sacred space. But I'm seeing you be in service and being selfless, you know, like selfless to a degree, because it's like you had to put a lot of people's feelings first in order to survive through a lot of these very difficult dynamics, like so much sabotage, so much malice, so much toxicity, so much dysfunction. You had to put other people's needs first, but I see you like very balanced, like being able to put your needs first, being able to give to yourself, and then being able to pour that out to others. It's like that saying, like you can't pour from an empty cup. So it's like you learned how to fill your own cup up, and then you pour that out to others. And you are selfless in that way. Of course, maintaining your own energy, your own integrity, your own level of self-love, self-worth, self-respect. Yeah. And another thing I'm seeing is like God holds you to very high standards. This probably could be a whole separate message. Like God holds you to very high standards, because in order for you to fulfill this role that you have and to ground this high frequency, this high state of consciousness, like you got to be held to higher standards than people operating in very low states of consciousness, okay? So it's like, just like, don't compare yourself to other people. Like your path is yours, like stay in your own lane. You know what I mean? Like comparison doesn't do us any good. So, you know, God does hold you to very high standards, and maybe you had to make sacrifices to 1701. Yeah, that's kind of like what's coming through. And also like, that the pH of your body's coming through. Like I said earlier in this message, how these people's karma, they have very acidic bodies. Maybe God is putting you through a physical transformation where your pH levels are being brought into balance, okay? That just keeps coming, like it's coming through. And that could connect to this other message that I just put out about, like, you know, giving your body what it wants, and like it, you know, less caffeine, less sugar, and less processed foods and more nutrient dense foods, and staying sober, things like that. But you know, you apply it how it is for you, okay? But I do see like keeping things in balance, having to have gone through a very deep state of rest, and having your psychic energy, your intuitive gifts, and your healing gifts just amp up. They're just revving up. Boom, boom, boom. They're so strong right now. And also, where you're going, you can spread your energy out to other people and to all the people, as many people as you want, but you can't bring these people with you. In other words, you can't force people to be on the same path as you. And as much as you might want certain people to make better choices, to make different choices, to care about themselves more, to love themselves more, to you know, you can't make them. Like you can't drag them with you. It's just like you'd be dragging dead weight, okay? Everybody's on their own path. They make their own choices. Their soul is learning their own lessons. And you just gotta let people be who they are. But you know, you might have to distance yourself. Some people, you might have to cut ties with some people, and that's okay. And just, you know, don't force things. Like, be like water. Not salty and mysterious, but be like water. Like, just go with the flow. If it comes, let it come. If it goes, let it go. That one makes me laugh. Like, be like water, be salty and mysterious. But like, I'm not saying that, but it makes me laugh because, you know, oceans can be salty and mysterious. What? But we want to be like water in the flowy sense. Okay, so that's my message for you today. That's what came through. Also, These young souls are giving to me cusp energy. So if you're looking for a sign, it's somebody who's on the cusp of something, the cusp of two signs. All right. And you know, they're not learning their lessons, and so that's why the karma just seems so harsh. So you can just love them from afar, pray for them, send them good energy. You know, when you feel these people who have hate towards you sending you like hateful energy, just remain in love. Just stay in love for yourself, and like just send that love out if you can, because that like solidifies your energy field, keeps you like very, very solid and grounded in your frequency. Okay? Know that I love you so much. I'm sending you I feel like these are like little wings. Like, I love you. I love you. God loves you. God is so proud of you. God is saying like, great job, good job, maintaining your frequency, maintaining your alignment, maintaining your truth, loving yourself, healing yourself, allowing yourself to heal, allowing yourself to rest. Great job. Keep up the great work. And you are so loved. You are so loved, and you are so trusted and respected, and God is very proud of you. God trusts you. Okay, that's why God holds you to higher standards. And just keep being you. All right? I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon. And I hope you have a really beautiful day. I'm sending you so much love. Okay.